All right, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
That's right. You coming in?
Yeah, I'm with the paper.
Yeah.
All right, so we get a ride in the Wienermobile.
There we go. We're not going yet.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to call you?
No, that's fine. We'll just do it quick.
Well, yeah, could you give us the lay of the Wienermobile?
Yes.
I'm gonna give them the,
Cool. So
Pointy
as you
floor.
walk in, you can see our ketchup and mustard on the floors. We've got blue skies in the Wienermobile always, so even on a cloudy day, the blue skies in the Wienermobile. We've got our bun roof here, so we don't have a sunroof, we have a bun roof. So this piece of glass can actually pop out, and then one of us sits up here during parades. Normally Kayla sits up there and waves to everyone.
I'm the face team of like the pair. So.
Our bun box here, so we have a glove box, we have a bun box. 6 seats, 6 captain seats, ketchup and mustard colored. And then in the back there you can see our storage closet. It's like the back third of the vehicle. We keep our luggage in there and cleaning supplies.
Items, yeah.
We're on the road for a year, so that's where we keep like all our stuff in route to different places. So
When we're not, you know, or when we're in hotels, that's where we stay.
So I drove from DC yesterday, so we packed up the Wienermobile in the morning and then unloaded it when we got to Portland last night. So.
And this is a year commitment?
Yes.
For
Yeah.
you guys?
So, there are 6 Wienermobiles across the country. 2 Hotdoggers is our position titles to each Wienermobile. So they hired 12 recently graduated college students, just like us. We graduate in the spring to go on to promote the Wienermobile. It's a mobile PR firm on wheels. So we do it for a year, 6 months. We're with one partner in one region. So as a fleet, all 6 Wienermobiles, we cover the entire country, but individually we go regionally. So this is the Northeast Wienermobile that we're in right now. We'll go everywhere from, it's not super strict boundaries, we'll go everywhere from Maine, obviously, to down, we were in Virginia just last week, a couple days ago. We've been to, this is our 14th state in 4 months. So we go all over the place.
And you can see here we've driven 15,000 miles since we started in mid-June. So,
and
we put on like 500 just yesterday.
Right.
So
yeah.
So are you guys literally not going home in between all these? Like, are you literally on, like, personally on the road for a year?
So we do get Thanksgiving breaks. We get about a week of Thanksgiving, which we get to go home and see our families, and then Christmas time we get like 12 days or so. And we also get a paid spring break, which is sweet.
Yeah. And we get obviously, like, we only work, either 5 or 6 days a week, so we have weekends. But just the difference between, like, our job and a normal job is our weekends are usually in the middle of the week. Weekends are our busiest time for events, so typically we'll have, like, today's one of our off days, so we'll be off, a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday sort of thing, which kind of works out when you're in bigger cities, because you can go at, like this summer when we wanted to do stuff, we were at off times during the week, so it makes it a little easier.
Yeah, like in DC, a super touristy area, we're off on Tuesday, Wednesday, there's not as many people out, so it ends up working out. And as long as we get our days, I don't think we really care when it is necessarily.
Because we're in a different city. It's not like we have friends or people we know in every city. We're kind of doing our own thing anyway, so it's not like, oh, my friends are off on the week. Like, we don't know anyone.
And that's the best part of the job is, our off days in different cities. We get to experience a new city just about every week. So we're basically on a year-long road trip.
Yeah.
Which
and getting paid for it.
You're getting paid for it. You literally cannot ask for anything more as graduating college,
and not just,
4 months ago.
Not just the big cities. Like, I think we both agree that there's been a lot of cities that we never would have, like, imagined we'd go to that is really, like, I always use the example of, like, Rochester, New York. I don't know when I would have ever had the chance to go to Rochester, but, like, it was one of my favorite places. We got to, like, go to Niagara, and we got to, like, do all that kind of stuff, but also just, like, the city itself was way more interesting than I think I imagined. So that's, like, yes, obviously it's cool to get to go to, like, New York City and DC and, like, places like that, but I think we also just appreciate the smaller towns, and that's when most people get, like, really excited about it, too. DC, like, not that there's a Wienermobile there every day, but they're less, Wienermobile, and, like, smaller cities like, oh my gosh,
Like, why are you guys here?
why
Like,
are you here?
it's
Yeah.
cool. Like, we'll be on like a long drive day and pull off the highway in like a really small town
Yeah.
just to get gas, and they'll like think it's the coolest thing
Yeah.
that like we came to their city just to fill up. So
Right.
That's awesome.
it's like it's honestly like some of those type of moments, like even on off days, like when we're driving to the grocery store or like filling up gas, is like some of the best interactions we have because it's so unexpected and like they're so caught off guard. And
Yeah.
I mean, oftentimes when you see the Wienermobile, you're surprised. But like especially when you live in like a small town or something like that. And we haven't been to Maine in a couple years too, so like just driving here,
Yeah.
and like pulling into Lewiston, like everyone's faces light up. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, there's good people stopping to take pictures.
It's basically like that anywhere we go,
Yeah.
but
Right.
we assume like our events this week, there'll be a lot more people who hadn't seen it in a while,
Mhm.
a lot more people who haven't seen it in general.
Yeah.
Probably just because we don't come here as often.
What are the specs? Like, how long is this?
Yeah, so we're 27 feet long and 11 feet high, but we like to say our length and height in hot dog lengths.
Oh.
So we're 60 hot dogs long and 24 hot dogs high, which we think is funny.
I like that.
We've got
We weigh over 140,000 hot dogs
Yeah.
heavy.
I think it's 140,500 hot
500,
dogs.
yeah.
14 tons.
7
7 tons, 14,000 pounds.
Yeah.
7, not 14 tons, 7 tons. But yeah, 14,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's on a GM truck chassis, car people.
6-liter V8 Vortec engine.
Yeah, Chevy engine.
Has this model been around for a long time? Like, I feel like I've seen one with the dog on both ends.
Yeah,
Like a slightly different.
This will be good for a
Yeah,
picture
grab the
too,
postcard.
yeah.
So this is a 2012 model.
Okay.
We've got 4 2012s on the road and 2 brand new ones this year, so 2 2016s. And it's our 80th year on the road, so over time there's been a lot of models, as you can see on their postcard.
You guys can keep that
Uh,
too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
grab one of the specs too.
Yeah. Here's,
So yeah, this year is especially exciting
Oh,
just
thank you.
because it's our 80th year. 1936 was the first Wienermobile. Carl Meyer, Oscar Meyer's nephew, came up with the idea. And 80 years later, it's still around. So that's one of the coolest things about the job is so many people have grown up with it, and they haven't seen it maybe since they were a kid, and then they bring their grandkids or their kids to see us, and they're making their first memories with the Wienermobile. So it's crazy how just like a vehicle can make that big of a difference in someone's life, and bring them back to their childhood. And it's so nostalgic to see it.
it's funny because a lot of times, like, parents or people, like, adults will come up to our events and they're like, oh, so, like, this is for kids, right? And we're like, no, you don't understand. Like, more adults appreciate that. Like, kids are like, oh, it's a bus or, like, a boat or, they think it's just a cool big
Airplane,
vehicle.
honestly,
Yeah. But adults are like, oh, no, like, I grew up with this, and they'll come sing the jingle to us. And, like, yeah, it's adults appreciate it more than kids
It's
do.
cool.
I
And
think.
like the best interactions you have are like when people are remembering their childhood and telling you like kind of what the Wienermobile means to them. Like
Yeah.
just to give you like an example, we were in Canton, Ohio like a couple months ago, and we met this woman whose husband had passed away like I don't know a year or something prior,
I think she said it'd been a year.
and they had like visited with the Wienermobile before, and like he loved it so much, and she's seen it a few times since, and she came up to us and like just said it was like a sign that like he was looking down on her and like smiling on her. So like it's like ridiculous. Like,
And
I
that's
did
not an
ex-
isolated story.
No,
Yeah, like
we did not expect that.
Yeah.
When we were on the road for a year, but like it's those type of things that like makes it's bigger than just the vehicle. It's it goes beyond that, which is kind of cool.
Do you guys both drive?
we do.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Share the duties.
we got specialized Wienermobile trained. So one of our biggest questions is do you need a special license
Sure.
or CDL to drive it? You don't. We're in this kind of middle space where we we're 7 tons, so we are. We follow DOT regulations. We keep logs, stuff like that, stuff like a trucker might do. But we don't need a CDL. We're not heavy enough to require a CDL. But we do get pretty extensive training. So our training is called Hot Dog High. So we attend Hot Dog. We graduated college and then we went back to high school. We went to Hot Dog High. They hold that in Madison, Wisconsin, which is where the Wienermobile program is based. So we spent 2 weeks in Madison. Mostly training the PR marketing side, and then really it was only technically about 3 days that we actually were learning how to drive the vehicle. We started out first with like rental vans, and they blacked out like the back windows. So give me 1 second. Hi,
Hey.
can I help you?
Do you have wiener whistles?
We do.
Yeah,
Yes.
give us 1 second.
Yeah. And we'll hook you
I
guys
think
all
like
up.
3.
Again, some
3?
Yeah.
So we'll tell you about these, but these are special edition wiener whistles.
Thank you. I've gotten some newsroom requests.
Here you go, some special edition glow in the dark ones.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, that all the time. but no. So we did courses with that because really getting used to not having a rear view is probably like the most difficult thing to adjust to from driving a normal car. And the Madison Police Department comes out and they actually train us to use the vehicles. They've been, I need to get the exact number. I can't remember how many years they've been doing it, but they've been
Over a
training
decade, yeah.
Hotdoggers for a long time to drive the Wienermobile. So even though it was only a couple days, so then like we did the vans in the course. Then the next day we did the Wienermobiles in the course.
And it's like this tight, like different cones we have to
Small.
go through going forward, backwards,
Yeah.
like just preparing us for like, there was like a simulated
Tight
gas
parking
station
situation.
stop, so like
Yeah.
you pull in and go around a tight curve because like we're such a big vehicle, like you have to take wider turns.
Right.
And, so like
But yeah, it was one day of that, and then the next that day we went out on the road.
Yeah.
But like we felt so prepared. I didn't think I was gonna feel. I thought I was just gonna be freaking out the whole time. But like they made us feel very prepared to drive it. And I mean now here we are 4 months in, and it's second nature. It's really people are always like it's so difficult to drive. And you're like I don't really think about it anymore. It's
yeah,
just,
and part of the training
just
too
do
is
it.
like learning how to trust your partner because anytime we're outside the vehicle anytime we're backing up, our partner needs to be outside the vehicle behind us, and we watch them through the mirrors and they help us. We have like hand signals and stuff. They help us maneuver backwards just because we're so high and like so
Yeah.
oddly shaped. Like I would never want to back up, without someone outside.
Yeah.
Just for the chance that we scratch our buns because we don't want that to happen.
Don't
We
want
have we have a backup camera, but
doesn't compensate
doesn't-
for the top of the hot
yeah,
dog.
yeah.
And you guys beat out a crazy number of would-be hot doggers.
Yeah, we get 1,200 applicants per year, so
That's amazing.
we're 1%. We like to say we cut the mustard. Yeah.
Nice.
So I can see why people want to do this. It's the best job. Like it only goes down from here.
Yeah, no, we're very lucky. We always say like it's the coolest vehicle we'll ever drive. We're getting the best experience in so many different aspects. Like I could go on forever on like the benefits of this job. I mean, not just PR, marketing, people skills. We have negotiation skills and business skills and. Like the list goes on and on and on.
There's things that will transfer into any job you do next.
Oh,
I
sure.
mean, typically the job attracts like marketing, PR, communication, journalism type majors, but we've had biology majors in the past. I think we have a few business majors this year, and like the things that we're learning will, transfer over to any job. Like we tackle like different random obstacles like every day, and some are smaller. Some may be like figuring out how to park in a grocery store lot that's
Yeah.
small and like. Not being in traffic, and then yesterday, for example, we were driving around New York City, and
To get here, yeah.
and we're not allowed to. Commercial vehicles aren't allowed on parkways. They're only allowed on expressways, and we came to a point where the GPS was trying to route us through a parkway, and we can't because of low bridges. And we got to a point where we just had to pull over and manually navigate back to an expressway so that we didn't
It's just
take off the top of the Wienermobile. It's just like
crisis management on every level. Like
yeah, and it's like.
from the least amount to like the how are we gonna get to Maine kind of crisis mode, you know?
And like we had to do it somewhat quickly because we had still had 5 hours
Yeah.
in the vehicle and we needed to get here by 10:30 is the Wienermobile's curfew technically, so it has to be parked by then. So just small things like that, and we do that sort of thing every single day. So.
And the sites you're going to, are they places that sell Oscar Mayer or what, it's specific or not? Or?
So this week is kind of
This
unique.
week's special, yeah.
So typically our schedule is set by our bosses. They send us to retail events or festivals, fairs, parades, that's kind of stuff we get to do. We have the really special opportunity this week that we get to kind of reach out to places and do things that we want to do, and we set our own events. So
like we've been working on this week for a couple weeks now, planning what we were gonna do.
Yeah.
Which is cool because otherwise we're just following exactly what our bosses do, so it gives us some more freedom.
And another skill, like we're learning to, make our book things, make our own schedule, work with stuff like that. But so obviously week leading up to Halloween, we're doing like all Halloween themed events.
Fun stuff.
Really fun stuff. Yeah, I can tell you exactly where we're going to be in our schedule.
I think I included it in
You did,
the email.
yes.
So,
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
So we're doing all sorts of things like a 5K. We're going to a pumpkin patch.
We're going to be a freaky 5K on Saturday morning. Pumpkin patch in the afternoon on Sunday. We're going to be at the Portland Children's Museum
And theater for like a
Sunday
costume
morning.
parade. It's going on indoors. We're gonna be outside. Like we don't have it decorated quite yet, just because we got in so late last night and then we
Right.
did radio this morning and then we came right here. But we have like a bunch of decorations. We're gonna put like spider webs all over the inside of the Wienermobile.
Haunted Halloween.
Haunted Halloween, yes. And we have costumes too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be chili dogs. So we have hot dog costumes, and then we're gonna wear winter coats and a hat and gloves. So
Which works out. It's kind of dual purpose because we need to be wearing winter clothes, and me especially. I'm gonna be wearing my winter coat from like here on out.
And we love
so.
puns as Hotdoggers.
Yes.
So chili dog is a pretty good
That
Halloween
worked out
costume
pretty
pun,
well.
I think.
So where do you guys hail from? Originally, what's your home states?
So I'm from Florida. I'm from the Clearwater, Florida area.
I'm from suburb outside Chicago. And I went to Wisconsin, and Kayla went to University of Florida.
Yeah.
So they recruit.
Hopefully I'm prepared for the winter.
Yeah, yeah. And the Hotdoggers, the 12 Hotdoggers are from all over the country. So California to Texas to Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida,
Yeah.
like literally all over.
They go and recruit in person to like mostly those schools that are more focused in PR, marketing, journalism, and then just it's the 29th year of our program, so they kind of know which schools they pull people from typically, but anyone can apply online. We've got a couple people in our program who they weren't able to come in person to their school, but they heard about the program online and they did like a phone interview and like sent in their application personally. So
And even if we don't, or like our bosses don't recruit at your school, I think a lot of times they send like the job posting to their career center.
Yeah.
So it's posted like online or however people find jobs on their career center site. So
right.
that's why we get so many applicants. Is it's the application's so widespread throughout the country.
What are the most? Oh, sorry. What are the most common comments? Like, what are you hearing over like for reactions?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think the three most common words we hear is "I remember when." So that's what I was talking about before. I remember seeing the Wienermobile when I was a kid, and here it is today. That's those three words start a lot of conversations.
Yes.
And like I was saying before, those are the best conversations. Is hearing people's stories, because hearing how it's changed, hearing how it's the same. It's just really cool to see how like a vehicle impacts someone's life and brings them back to a happy time in their childhood. So.
And it's great too because a lot of people will say that they didn't realize it was still around or like still touring. Mm-hmm. So they get really excited because they're like, I haven't seen this since I was 10 years old. Or you'll see like a 7-year-old who's like, I've never seen this and this is my first time. So it's not just like the I remember whens are so great, but I think like our favorite part too about that is that like we are part of creating those for the future. Mm-hmm. So like not just for little kids who obviously have never seen it before or like who don't know about the commercial or the jingle or whatever. In 15, 20 years, they might see it again and tell their kids like, I remember when and that's us. Like that was us that created that memory. So like that's really special to know that we're physically creating an impact in people's.
And like the postcards Kayla gave you with the pictures of the old Wienermobiles, we have. So both of those we have in sign form that we put at our events. They're like
big sandwich board.
Yeah, big sandwich board signs. And so when we hear that and we hear someone say, I remember seeing it in the 60s, we can, walk over to the board with them and they can find the one that they saw, which is super cool. Like,
or they won't remember when it was, but they'll be like,
remember
I remember
time.
I saw that one. Or like, it's really cool.
Yeah.
We're very lucky.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good. I think are we ready for a little spin?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's go for it.
definitely.
Do you want to drive?
Sure. Well, I drove the last time. Do you want to drive? Sure. Okay.
So we called this seat shotgun. We
Yes.
forgot that in our description. So not shotgun, shotgun.
If you feel like we're not giving you enough puns, just let us know because we're full of them.
Well, I do feel like Christian's got him down for the cold. So do you have some puns up your sleeve as well, Kayla?
You have a few
That's
more.
actually funny because the last people we were with said that I was there. He was like, you're just all with the puns. I was like, Christian does the puns too.
We'll start with this one.
He's just, well, okay, so everyone needs to fasten their meat belts. Gotta fasten your meat belts if you're taking
You
a ride in
gotta,
a
you gotta
Wienermobile.
pull them really slow,
Yeah.
otherwise they lock up.
It's an interesting mechanism. But, well, we're gonna haul buns right now. And we like to say we travel the hot dog highways of America. Just spread miles of smiles. That's what we do.
We get so in part of our hot dog high training, we go through like a hot dogger handbook. And part of the hot dogger handbook, we have a big list of parts. So we kind of like memorize them, and you figure out which ones you like the most.
Yeah.
And which ones you use the most. You get the hang of it pretty quick.
Well, my favorite, we don't typically get to use very much, but I always like, let me think of like a, okay, so, you know, we were with the radio station this morning, and they were making fun of me because I kept pulling out the puns, and I was like, you know, I just can't help it. It's in my BOLO DNA. That's my favorite one. And it's very rare that you get to use it because, like,
tough to use.
It's not very applicable, but, so a situation, actually, a good story, too. So, like I said, our program's been going on for 29 years, and
I'm sorry, but you said it's been driving for 80 years.
Right.
Yes.
So
So it had been driving for many years. I guess you might be better explaining this than I. It was off the road for a little while, and when they brought it back, you know, to tour, they hired brand ambassadors as the Hotdoggers.
yeah, so like our program of hiring recent college grads has been going on for 29 years of Hotdoggers. I think previously it was like maybe like sales associates that would like take it on the weekend for like special events, and like it wasn't like a.
It would stay in like one area, yeah, like Chicago, or like we've heard people who've said like who've come to our events and been like, oh, I drove this.
Yeah.
You know, way back in the day, I just drove it for the summer or something. So I mean, there's always been people who have been ambassadors to the Wienermobile, all different types of people, but. Our specific program, where, like Christian said, it's a year long. They hire recently graduating college students. That's only been 29 years.
Yeah. So we have like a really cool hot dogger alumni network.
Yeah.
So we have a Facebook page with basically everyone that's been a hot dogger for 29 years. Also, let me know when it gets about to like, is there like a cool route to take, or should I just keep going? And
I would maybe, let's see, so turn right here, left right here. We'll
Left
go
here?
up, yeah, left right there. And then we're gonna take left at the stop sign.
Okay.
Maybe we'll go up by the middle school of Bates College and then circle around. How's that?
Yeah, it sounds good to me. So, as I was saying, we have a cool alumni network. We have a Facebook page with all these old hot doggers. So, anytime like an old hot dogger hears that we're going to be in town, or like we know that there's hot doggers in whatever Portland, we'll post on the page.
Take a right.
Right here. Cool.
Yeah.
So we'll post on the page like, hey, we're going to be in Portland this week. Anybody want to catch up? So that's another good
Or meetup.
pun or meetup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one doesn't transfer. as
So
well.
like there's an old hot dogger that lives in Portland, so we're gonna see her one of these nights and like go out to dinner. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's only a select few people who like know what this is like and
Right.
have done it before. So it's cool to hear their stories and what it was like, you know, back when they were doing it, and
Right.
them hearing how it's the same and how it's different nowadays. Do you want to tell like a few
Well,
stories? of, like,
the story I was telling you.
I think you just go that second right.
Second
not
right,
this
cool.
one here.
Sounds
Yeah, okay.
good. Sounds good.
No, I was just gonna say, so like a really cool thing we got to do, last week, or 2 weeks ago, we were in Richmond, Virginia, and, so an old hot dogger who drove the Wienermobile in 99 and 2000, he went to William and Mary, and he was able to drive the Wienermobile while he was a hot dogger in the William and Mary homecoming parade. So he now works for the school, and, he requested, you know, the Wienermobile takes requests. Anyone can request. We don't do private events, but you can request us to be at your musical fair, parade, whatever.
We did 7,000 of those per year.
Yeah, 7,000 a year, so we're very busy. And we can't obviously take them all, unfortunately. But yeah, so he requested to see if we could be in the William and Mary homecoming parade this year, and so we were able to get him and his wife and his 2 sons, who were 5 and 7, a ride in the parade. It was so cool because, you know, his sons got to see like what Dad did back in the day, and we took like a picture of him standing next to the Wienermobile, exactly like the picture he had taken 16 years ago. So that alumni network is another huge benefit of the
Take a
program,
left here. Yeah.
and something that we really appreciate
A
too.
lot of people let us go at stop signs too, so they can
Take their picture, yeah.
So how is it to drive? I mean, you guys are pros at this point, but is it a little, you know, are turns a little tight or challenging?
Yes,
or?
and I mean, pretty much like you don't know what you're gonna get to. So like, you know, you'll be in. We were just in Richmond, and we were in like a really tight one way, and there was cars on each side.
Yeah.
So I had to like get out and like walk in front just to make sure that we didn't clip any cars.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really not as bad as you would think. And after like 15,000 miles, it's not too bad. And most of the jobbing we do is on the highway, so as long as you can change lanes.
You take it right here.
You
Go
tend
right
to
here.
notice things more. Like I don't think I ever like paid very much attention to like tight spaces or like, you know, like difficult driving situations until you're in a 27-foot vehicle that people are like stopping in front of to get pictures of. So it kind of just makes you way more aware. I've said this like 5 times. Yeah, and I've
You
already.
don't want to do anything to this thing.
Right.
It's our baby. Like, we love this.
Yes. You have to be a very defensive driver for sure. Make sure you're
Never interfering.
not scratching your butts. Oh, this is gorgeous.
Bates College.
And is Colby College nearby
You
here?
might want to take a left at that
An
little
hour.
An hour.
right here.
Okay, we
Right
couldn't
here?
remember if
Yeah,
it was
where?
near the city
Yeah.
or not.
No.
That's where we're gonna be.
I just remember that.
Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna be there for the 5K. So that maybe we should just decrease that.
Yeah, a little bit of a drive.
That's all right.
No worries.
That's half the
Yep.
job.
Yes.
You couldn't come over here, let me out, let me run way ahead,
Sure,
because
sure.
it's kind of pretty with the leaves and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Like,
this
here
is
we
a
go.
great idea.
And then I'll run
Here,
to
I'll
the
let
end
you
of the
out.
street.
Okay.
That
And
door is
then
kind of
when
heavy.
you
You're
pass
not
by
used
it,
to it.
Okay,
And
yeah.
stop after I pass you.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, we might ditch you also.
There you go.
Alright. And while we were talking about, I have another kind of cool story about ex-Hotdogger. So we
Former
Hotdogger. I guess. Yeah. Our first week on the job, we were in New Jersey, and it was like one of our first nights, and we drove to whatever the local boardwalk was. Where were we? Asbury Park. And we drove whatever just to get dinner and parked the Wienermobile like next to this grassy park area right near the boardwalk, and we walked and had dinner. And then we came back. It was dark. It was close to 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10, and we come up to the Wienermobile and we see like this envelope taped on the door, and we're like, oh gosh, we got a ticket.
I was immediately like, ticket. We got ticketed. It's our first week on the job. We got ticketed. Like.
And we open up the envelope, and once we get in the vehicle, we're like antsy to like see what it is, and open it up, and it happens to be a letter from a former Hotdogger who drove the Wienermobile in 1999 and 2000.
Yeah. He was in the same class as actually the guy who we drove in the William and Mary Homecoming Parade, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah, and so he wrote in the letter that he hadn't seen the Wienermobile since he parked it for the last time 16 years ago. And he lived like a block or two away from where we were. And he was like, please, like, reach out to me, like, of his number and his email. He said, call me and we'll set up a dinner. Like, I want to hang out with you guys. He's like he runs the cafe at the MoMA in New York.
Yeah.
So of course we were like super excited, and we had kind of like heard from our bosses. We'd heard from our bosses.
I'll go see if he needs to be there. Or if they need
We heard
something.
from our bosses like about the alumni network and like how you're gonna go to Hotdoggers like all the time. And we're like, oh sure. And sure enough, like the first week on the job, we linked up with an old Hotdogger, and we went over to his house one night for dinner, and like 12 or so of his family members happened to be in town that weekend because they were kind of celebrating sending off one of the cousins to South Africa for a couple of days. And the thing was like his family had experienced the Wienermobile when he was driving it 16 years ago. because he had brought it home. He was able to like bring it home and take like his brother or sister to school one day. So like they had this whole experience with the Wienermobile, and then now they're getting to see it again. They hadn't seen it since he had driven it either. So they were just the nicest people, and like they made this seafood broil for us, and like we were there for 4 or 5 hours. Like it was just an amazing time, and like another thing that you just don't expect to happen.
On Central,
Yeah.
and so we're trying to figure out, well, where the hell would they be going? So it's awkward.
Just driving around, we're doing an interview with them and
Hey,
How's it going?
good. Does it feel
let
like
them
that?
peek inside, check out the Wienermobile.
They didn't want me to get a photo of me next to you, like you're getting a ticket or something. We were trying to figure out though, like on the registration, what would this vehicle be listed as for a make and model?
Yeah. So it's on a GM truck chassis, but other than that,
pickup truck.
Make
So, like,
and model is Wienermobile license plate. Oh, I wish.
yeah. So we have to write that on our hotel.
In your
Like when
dreams.
we're signing into our hotel, sometimes like your license
that's
plate
what
and
it
make.
is.
We just write Wienermobile and oh I wish for our license plate. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
They should be able to figure it out when.
Yeah, exactly.
It's funny when they don't when the person at the desk wasn't the one that booked us, so they don't know that that's who we are,
And they
and then
look
we'll
at
write
them
that, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're with the Wienermobile! Like, I heard you were coming." And we're like, "Yeah, that's us."
So what are you guys doing? Just
Yeah, we're in the Portland area for some Halloween events this week, and just doing an interview with the Sun Journal today. So.
you guys gonna be up here in Lewiston at all for any?
We're not. No, we're gonna be. See, I don't know. It's our first time here, so I don't know what's going
I should rope you into the chamber thing on Friday.
On Friday, what time is that at?
4 to 6.
See, we already have. We're gonna be in Gardner from 3 to 5.
Gardner's a small town, as you must be.
We already committed. I wish.
It's for the kids. We're doing stuff for the kids.
Well, we had over 700 kids. That's got to be like the population of Gardner.
I wish we would have
I
known.
wish,
That would
yeah.
have been, that would
Trust
have been
me.
really great.
Maybe next year we're gonna be in Waterville, Buxton, Dayton, downtown Portland.
How's the handle on the pike? Does it get pretty windy?
Actually, today
It's been
it was
pretty windy, yeah.
pretty windy coming here, and yeah, you got to really have your hands on the wheel all the time. So
I have 100 people driving by with their crib phones out there.
Right.
yeah, one hand on the wheel, one hand taking a picture.
Yeah.
So be careful of us.
Would you guys like your picture in front of it before we head out?
Sure.
We'll come up with a couple whistles.
Oh yeah, we got whistles for you guys too.
Yes, so these
Special edition
wiener whistles, they're
glow in the dark wiener whistles.
They're never making them again. So we have we have them for Halloween this week to give out, and we're really bubbing them because they are wiener whistles in general are super special, but these are incredibly rare to get. So
Later than that. So actually, the first wiener whistle was introduced in 1952. And they would come in the hot dog packages. But they've changed a little bit since then. But these are the current Wienermobile whistles, and you can only get those when you see the Wienermobile now. So a lot of people say if you've seen the Santa Claus movie, they remember it from the Santa Claus movie, and we always like to say that not even Santa Claus can give out wiener whistles. They were kind of stretching the truth in that movie because you can only get to see the Wienermobile. So only me and Christian can, not even Santa.
Claus brings her one or something.
They are.
People that
Not
are
give this to my newborn.
Probably not. Probably not. Can I trust you guys to handle them properly? Good.
So just slow it down next time.
Yeah, this is a common occurrence. We'll be doing nothing wrong, and they'll pull us over just what's up? Let's get a picture. What are you doing here? We had that happen, and we were going to Niagara Falls, and we got pulled over in downtown Niagara Falls, and the cop came up to the window. It was at a stoplight, so I knew I was doing nothing wrong.
Okay, wait. So
Turn left here, and then turn on that, make another left, and
Okay.
go right by me.
okay,
Okay.
sound good?
And then
Yep.
we'll head back to the paper, which is 2 minutes away.
Perfect.
He pulled us over and just came up to me and was like, "You're doing a great job," and shook my hand. It was hilarious.
Because we were we weren't nervous.
No,
We weren't doing anything wrong. We were at a stop sign, but we're what is possibly he doing?
Yeah.
And literally just doing a great job.
And
Turned
we
and walked away. And we're like, wait a second. If you're here, we're gonna ask you where to park.
We were warned of that by our bosses too. That cops are gonna pull you over. Like, don't be alarmed. Like,
They just
but like
want
if
a
we do
picture.
get pulled over, like they want us to tell them to ask if they can turn their lights off. Just it makes for a hilarious photo for like people
Right.
driving by, but we don't want that. Like, if we were doing
I don't want our boss to think we got pulled over.
Yeah.
You know?
the left right here.
Yeah, I think so. He said he's gonna be like on that road. He said just to drive slowly.
I think he said left and left. Did you?
Yes,
Yeah.
two lefts.
He's
Oh,
running.
he's running up there. He's getting after it, getting a little workout
He's
in.
workout in, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you guys are such good sports for coming up on your time off.
No, we're happy to do it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And like, hopefully this like, if you wouldn't mind like including in the article like our events or at least a few of
Absolutely.
them.
Yeah.
It always helps when we get media because then people hear about we're in town. Because otherwise, most of the time it's just kind of a surprise that we
Yeah.
happen to be in town. So.
Yeah, and we want to see as many. I mean, like we've said a bunch of times, but this is our first time back in Maine in a couple years, so we want people to be able to see it while we're here.
Do you have a sense of how many years it's been?
It's been-
Since Maine?
I think we're pretty sure since 2014 is the last time, as far as we know.
Yeah.
I definitely know they didn't. So yeah, it had to be 2014 because I know they didn't come last year.
Yeah, they didn't come last year. So we actually asked our boss if they could get us to Maine because we wanted to come there. So
Yeah.
bad,
We pretty much requested. We were like, if there's any chance at all, you can get us to Maine, because neither of us had been. It's like on both of our bucket lists, like goals to like go to Acadia. Hopefully on our off days at the end of this week, we'll be able to go up there. That's like a.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I don't want to hit you. Hey, was that good?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. I'll post that.
That's hilarious.
I know.
Okay. And we're also trying to get the most states out of all the other teams.
It's our 14th. Oh, did you already mention that?
I
It's our
did say that,
14th
yeah.
state in just 4 months. So
And you guys will be a driving pair for 6 months, and then you guys will change it up partners.
Yeah.
partners in regions. So second half of the year with us.
Good to experience a new area.
It's cool. Like at the end of the year, they give us like a plaque with like a picture of our whole class, and then there's like a map with like states colored in that you personally went to.
Mhm.
So we saw that so we overlapped one day with the past Hotdoggers from last year, and they kind of like eased us into Hot Dog High and we get to ask them questions and
Yeah.
hang out with them for a bit. So we saw like their like ceremony or whatever. So that's how I know that.
And I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Because
It's like a cool memento.
I haven't really even seen the U.S., so this is kind of cool to get to see, especially not the Northeast, being from Florida. I've seen a lot of the Southeast and South, but
Yeah, I haven't been over the Northeast either.
most of these 14 states have been new to me, so.
What about this made you want to do it? I mean, it's going to take an interesting, a certain person to have the fortitude to
Yeah,
hit the road for a year.
it definitely was something, I was like, I really got to think about this. Once I got offered, to come to the second interview, I was like, okay, this is getting kind of real. They narrow it down from like the 1,200 to 25. I'm going to the second interview. And I was like, I'm going to be traveling for a year, away from my family, the longest I've ever been away from my family. But for me, honestly, like that like weighing of options was like a split second. Like I knew if I was lucky enough to like be chosen for this job that there was no option. Like I had to take it. It's just I'll never get a chance to do anything like this ever again, and it's something for the rest of my life, like I'll be able to say that I did. And we always joke during Hot Dog High, we've met a lot of new people, and so you do the whole meeting thing, where are you from, what's your name, like what's a fun fact about you? And we're like, this is the last time we'll ever have to come up with a fun fact. Like we now have a fun fact for the rest of our lives, which is like such an inconsequential thing, but it's just we always joke about that.
You're totally right.
And at
Yeah.
the same time, I think we can both agree, like, we weren't entirely sure exactly what we wanted to do after college.
Yeah.
And this gives us another full year to, gain a ton of
Just go straight.
straightforward.
Yeah.
Learn a bunch of stuff, pick up some new skills, and just have time to think about what we want to do after this. And like we were saying before, we're learning so many different things that will apply to any job. So
Yeah.
I know for me, I know I want to get into advertising or PR. PR, communication, something in that realm. Kayla, I'm not sure what you're exactly thinking.
My sell to my parents on this job, because, you know, they were both on board, but my dad was kind of like, you know, being a dad about it, and like, well, like, but what is this going to do long term for you? And I was like, Dad. Because I studied.
Keep going, turn left where that car is turning. Yeah.
And I worked as a reporter all 4 years of college and even in high school. And that's kind of what I was going to be doing if I hadn't got this job, would be getting like a local news reporting job. And I was like, Dad, like, I'm going to be meeting news directors, reporters, like all over the country, and that sold him. So yeah, if that's what I decide to go into, I have tons of connections. If not, I feel like the world is so much more opened up than when you're graduating college. I feel like most people kind of take this. You feel so like my next job is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and you're just in that mindset.
Then turn right.
And this year has really opened me up personally. So like I didn't study anything about PR marketing, but now I kind of have that in my back pocket, and we've got that coveted year of experience now, you know.
And then turn left at the stop sign, right after the work truck.
Rolled up.
Yep.
Perfect.
And like for me, like if I get into PR, a lot of it's, you know, pitching media, and we pitch media every single market we get into. So we're gaining experience of what works, what doesn't, doing interviews, that sort of thing.
So do you have any hot dog facts to lay on, since we are physically on?
Physically about hot dogs,
Or I guess still just popular as they've been, or any.
I think over here is okay.
You can,
Yeah.
sure. Yep.
Looks like there's spots up there.
Yeah,
Right up there. Perfect. Let's see, hot dog wise.
I mean, I know we meet hot dog fans all across the country, and we're really more experts on the Wienermobile
Gotcha, okay.
than hot dogs. But I mean, obviously, both our favorite kinds of hot dogs are Oscar Mayer hot dogs, and
Yeah, I mean, Oscar Mayer has the most different kinds of hot dogs out of any big hot dog brand.
yeah,
Oscar Mayer was the first hot dog to brand itself, so the yellow band that we have has been around since late 1800s, and that's like, why it became so big and is so big now is
Well
because they're well recognized. They're the first hot dog true brand.
Yeah.
And part of that is the Wienermobile. So that's really cool.
Oh, no, that's perfect. So I know your last name is on the emails. that we
Yes.
traded. Could I grab your last name?
yeah. It's Kawalec, Kawalec.
There you go. Kayla.
Yes. And our hot
Yeah, we
dogger
have hot dogger
names,
names. I always
actually,
forget.
yes. So my hot dog name's Ketchup Kayla.
Okay.
And I'm Cookout Christian. So you can add those in if you want. We always like to, during Hot Dog High, we get to pick our hot dogger names, which is always fun. So everyone has a different name.
I'm glad you brought that up because I noticed the cookout was on your
Yeah.
signature,
See,
but I
it's something that we always
I
forget here on the way
always
here when we're
slips my
talking about it.
mind, yeah. 'Cause, yeah, it's funny.
Kayla, what's your last name?
Kawalec, Kawalec.
And Kayla.
Yes.
And Christian, Christian.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what's your last name?
B-L-A-T.
B-A-L-T.
B-L-A-T. Blatner.
B-L-A-T.
N-E-R.
N-E-R.
It's funny because I feel like my name is way more difficult for people, but always Christians is the one that gets like Christian. It's Christian, like
Yeah.
one of the most popular names
Yeah.
in the world, and always like people like misspell it or like
Yeah.
we get a lot of Christina.
That's just a misspelling. That's just a typo.
Right. They haven't met him obviously when they write that. They just probably mishear me on the phone or something. But I'm always like, my name's the weird one. Like I know that's weird, but.
Well, I'm going to go back and write furiously for tomorrow's paper.
Awesome.
I
We'll
know.
be online and in the paper as well.
Absolutely.
Cool, because
Okay.
we loved a copy of it. We
Of
love
course,
seeing what you guys
yeah.
put together.
Yeah.
Did
Cool.
you send you a link? Or do you want a physical copy? Because I'm happy to do.
Just a link would be okay.
Okay.
And we'll
Yeah.
find a copy. Like, do you guys have circulation in Portland?
We'll just find it
So
online.
yeah,
Okay.
we'll just find it online then.
Okay. If you decide you want a paper copy, just let me know and how to get a copy.
Cool.
Oh, thank
Do
you.
you mind
Yeah.
if I run in and use the bathroom?
Of course not. Of course not. And do
we
you
can grab a
mind? So
picture.
I got some reassurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
What's
bring
up?
a bag in. I don't. You guys are gonna get the special
We'll
we
just bring
have,
in the regular.
Yeah, we have a very limited amount of special edition, but I'll bring in the regular ones for them. Everyone will get a
But
whistle.
you guys will
for
get a
sure.
glow in the dark
But
one.
they spend time with you guys. You guys gotta get a cool whistle. Not that these aren't cool, but you know.
We'll make sure we have enough there.
Oh, here, I've got them, Christian.
You got them there?
Yeah, a couple
Okay.
fell out.
Thank you so much.
There you go.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
And
And if you
I've
want a
been-
regular,
and if you'd also
Give 'em a
like your
regular
regular one.
I have 2 regulars because I have 2 kids.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, you
Um,
can get one too. Yeah.
Yeah, if I give one, that'll go.
Yeah.
I've been telling people too, gotta make sure you charge up the glow in the dark whistle under a bright light and then use it. It works a lot better. So.
I'm
Thank you
semi
so much.
Can I hit you up for a second? Regular slide.
Oh, of course. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no worries. Gotta get your wiener whistles. How
Will that
much?
be enough for?
Oh,
Like, is
of
this-
course.
okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't want to bring in a whole. You bring in like
Here, let's
2
bring in, like, the
many?
stickers, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could honestly just leave it.
Okay, we're ready to go.
Here, I'll make sure the door's okay.
Yeah. I felt bad. Those guys were like trying to look in and ask, and I was just like, if you look just at the mirror,
You're good. Oh, the mirror. Hold on a second.
because that's why I was like looking in the mirror. There was guys like standing right there
Yeah.
asking for a picture. I was looking in to see where the cars were, and they were like thinking I was looking at them, and I was like, I'm not looking at you. I'm not trying to get in your picture.
There's a
I love the police just randomly slowly
Yeah.
rolled up my
Yeah.
thing.
I know.
It's a small town.
It is. It's small.
Yeah.
Police don't randomly pull up in Washington, D.C. do they?
Let's trade.
Yeah, people are always trying to trade us. We're like,
Yeah, right.
this is way cooler than your vehicle.
Oh gosh, there's traffic here now.
I'm sure if I
Yeah, after this
Opened
car, we're
in a
good.
little
Not
bit,
after
people would-
after this maroon car that comes by, we're good. But like, oh my gosh.
well, I'm just gonna.
Just inch out.
Yeah, that's.
I wasn't sure how close they were coming to.
Oh, we're fine.
Okay.
Alright. Yes, we're kind of like mini celebrities in every town we get to go to. Especially when we're parades. Parades are the coolest. It's like, when would I ever be in a parade ever, you know? And like,
Oh, I wish.
I don't think the
All right,
we're under-
that was our tour of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Oh, I wish.
Story
Like, make
will
them all
come
look
soon.
like, oh, I